Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to this midweek. Actually, it's not quite the midweek, it's Tuesday, but a very momentous Tuesday because today we had the Dhwaj Arohan ceremony, which is really the hoisting of the flag over Ram Mandir. And it was an exceptionally moving and beautiful ceremony. I thought the speeches were fantastic. And that's why I thought maybe AIM can come and we can talk about UP being reimagined as a sacred geography, the Prime Minister's challenge to Macaulay Putras, and the fact that in 10 years we should be done with that kind of mentality. So, all very interesting day in terms of even what was said from the stage. So, Abhijit, what did you make of the speeches? Three of them spoke, of course, the Chief Minister, Yogi Adityanath, the Sarsang Chalak, and Prime Minister Modi. So, if you did you watch, first of all, let me ask you.
I watched snippets that I saw come out. I didn't watch the whole thing. But
Okay.
see, the interesting thing now is the last election was a near miss for the BJP because the RSS and BJP were not lockstep. Clearly, now
Mm,
they're in lockstep. For me, the biggest thing right now is have you seen after 2024 general election? Because they
mhm.
are all in lockstep. They've been winning every single thing, not essay vessay. They've been winning every single thing with a huge landslide. You remember what
Mhm.
happened in Maharashtra? Now, the
Yeah,
testing ground is UP. UP is the biggest test because UP में क्या हुआ कि we lost a lot of seats in UP this time. Now, the
correct.
comeback and UP is the crucible in which, if you lose UP, then you really can't rule India.
Hmm.
So UP is the one state where the RSS BJP theory will be tested. I think it was very much at least okay. So let me put it this way: from the clips that I've seen, it very
Hmm.
much to me seems that this is the beginning of the UP campaign,
Interesting.
right? You look at everything
Hmm.
that was said. Macaulay Putras. Why was Macaulay Putras being said in UP? UP has a problem with, uh, you know, uh, despite being the most electorally significant state, right? Everything is
Hmm.
an English preference. The whole country is an English preference country.
Yeah.
So for me, that whole Macaulay Putra line was to see to it there's a lot more technical education and opportunities for Hindi speakers and things like that. I think it's a beginning of something very big.
Hmm. I think you make a very interesting point, and I say this because I am half UP. Uh, there is a hang up about English and the
Yeah.
domination of English and people being denied opportunities in Uttar Pradesh. There is that. So that's very
And,
insightful, actually.
and see, for me, the end comes when we start taking local lexicon very seriously. We don't,
Mm.
fetishize about the past. Rather, we create technical grammar and technical lexicons that are relevant to STEM education today. And we start enforcing that across all the educational sectors and employment sectors here. Because there is an
Mm.
important point to be made, which is people learn much better in their mother tongue than they do in a foreign language. Yes.
Mm.
But the second aspect of it is there has to be employment opportunity also in that mother tongue with fluency in that mother tongue. And the third important thing is you also need to have the entire work ecosystem. Now, remember, Yogi is doing a very good job attracting all kinds of investment to UP, right? Because the
Right.
main thing out there is that uh, this is what gets me. People have forgotten what a bloody Gundaraj UP and Bihar used to be at one point of time. Yeah, you couldn't go out of your house or do anything without getting scared that you'll get kidnapped one fine day, shot one fine day, even shot. Uh,
AIM?
right, or become fine in UP, some gunda
Sorry, you need to
somewhere.
repeat. AIM, you need to repeat that. You froze.
Sorry. So, people have forgotten that at some point, any gunda could decide your house was very good. or your house was in an area where he wanted to construct something, and they just come and take it from you, and there was nothing you could do because they're all politically connected.
Hmm.
Today,
Hmm.
you try a stunt anywhere in UP, you're finished.
Yeah,
You're
very
finished.
recently, that Atiq Ahmad's house was demolished, and all the illegal property that he had acquired was demolished. And, low income group people were given those homes very recently, less than a month
Right.
ago.
Now, what is the prime thing about business? Business needs confidence in the political environment out there.
Hmm.
Today, you find anybody who's scared in UP. They're scared of योगी बाबा की डंडा लग जाएगा, वो अच्छा डर है, वो बहुत अच्छा डर है.
Hmm.
डंडा तो नहीं पर बुलडोजर आ जाएगा, and that is a very
Correct.
good kind of fear. ठीक है. So you now have this very clear system out there. Security has been provided, it is constant. There is no escaping from it. So you have investment going in. What is the next step? The next step is a trained workforce. Before, what was all the training done for? Do you remember sci-fi mahotsav and things like that? All these Bollywood dancers would go to sci-fi to leader G's constituency and do all their mujra dancing and all of that. Today, do you see any of that crap happening? No. So
No.
now it is very clear that they're going to focus on education. For me, this is, I personally feel this is the beginning of something very, very big and very, very good. They've understood the problems out there. Yogi is an interventionist CM. I think when you come across babocratic hurdle making, uh,
Hmm.
Yogi is going to bulldoze through that as well.
Yeah.
We've just
Yeah.
seen, I mean, did you see the news from last week? Insane amount of solar panels have gone up in UP. Today,
Hmm.
we have more installed green power in India than we do in Germany. And Germany is the
Wow.
one so called leading the entire green economy and this and that, blah, blah nonsense. You know, there people don't buy flats unless uh, the flat has a energy rating and things like that. It has to be so and so sustainability compliant and so energy compliant and things like that. We're exceeding them without tamasha, boss. Not bad. Not bad.
Hmm. No, I saw even in Bihar when Yogi went to Bihar, it was incredible the kind of reception he got at the right from the airport. They
Yeah,
were chanting, and because Bihar is, has, remember Bihar and UP were kind of twin sisters for a while, for a long
yeah.
time. And then UP just zoomed ahead. So the Bihari is actually, looking. I know I'm from Uttarakhand. They're always looking towards UP. Bihar is always looking towards UP. So there is this sort of it's spreading.
Which is a good thing. See, Naxals used to spread an ink blot strategy. You know how you drop blots of ink, it spreads on paper, and then the entire area gets blotted. Now we have a reverse anti-Naxal ink blot strategy where you're essentially developing every single part. See,
Hmm.
it's very easy for people like us to say, well, I'm not going to use a rural toilet. I'm only going to pee behind a tree because. But boss, the very fact that they needed those toilets, so much of the sexual crimes that used to happen used to be at the times when women used to go out to defecate out in the open.
Yeah.
Right? There used to be people literally waiting out there for that moment and things like that. And did you notice in the Bihar elections again? There was a swing. Remember in 2019, this happened. In 24, it did not happen, but this time it's happened again. Muslim women voters voted for the NDA.
And this is when I look at our Twitter greats, someone like Arfa, and this lack of appreciation of triple talaq being dismissed, this tweeting about the Muslim condition, and then the next tweet saying, I'm in New York on a train, and this sort of deracinated version of what it is to be Muslim in India. I mean, they're so disconnected.
Now, understand why getting hold of this Atiq Ahmed and who was that Ansari fellow? Ashtaq
Yeah,
Ansari? Mushtaq
I
Ansari.
forget his
What was
name.
his name?
Yeah, but some
But
Ansari, na? He
हाँ
was
Ansari.
related to the ex-vice president also in some.
हाँ, all same family.
Hmm.
Notice one thing about them. They were used to impunity.
Mukhtar Ansari.
Mukhtar,
Mukhtar.
right? So they were used to absolute impunity. They were Maharajas in their own domain, effectively. Some actually came from real. I mean, is a noble family really a noble family? Open question, philosophical question. But like Ansari, who came from royalty, kind of, and there were people like Atiq Ahmed who were Galika Gunda. But the thing is, it was what was incentivized in the Sunni community was becoming a strongman like that, because all the favors and the dispersal used to happen through them. So some 2 lakh, approximately 2 lakh Sunnis in UP
Hmm.
used to be the absolute elite of the elite. They used to get totally deracinated because unke bacche to Oxford jayenge, Harvard jayenge and things like that. And out of self interest, they used to maintain their communities as dirt poor ghettos. Why? Because the more dirt poor you are, the more dependent you are on their good graces. Now,
Yeah.
notice also what has happened. Everybody says, oh, well, there's no Muslim representation in the cabinet. Naam ke vaste to lagana chahiye tha. No, because naam ke vaste, those people would then repeat those same feudal patterns. So, what has happened is between no representation and huge consequences. So, think of it this way: Modi was to give out the carrots, he did not. Yogi was in charge of giving out the sticks, which he did,
Hmm.
which he did very well, by the way. So understand where Arfa is coming from. She doesn't give a crap how many women have gotten educated, how many madrasas are now teaching job relevant things like computer science and maths and things like
Yeah.
that. She's only concerned about the lack of power that she once used to enjoy, that her class of
Hmm.
people once used to enjoy, which they no longer do.
Hmm. I know. I mean, even Abhijit, I've sent you the live tweet also, so that if people want to watch on Twitter, you can just retweet that.
Hmm.
I've sent it to you on WhatsApp.
I'm doing this from my phone, so 1 second. I'm just gonna
Oh,
twist this around because I
yeah.
don't. My
Just
internet's gone off. 1 second. किस पे भेजा है?
okay.
WhatsApp पे भेजा है.
Hi. Thanks, guys. Do remember to like the stream if you want more people to log on and watch it. Share it also while we're live. So we're just waiting for Abhijit to come back in. Today, for those of you who are joining us now, we're discussing what's happened in Ayodhya as well as Prime Minister's surprising call, sounding of the bugle when it comes to a cultural battle, and how he has sworn, or the sankalp that he took from Ayodhya, of ensuring that the Macaulay Putras are eradicated, or that ideology is eradicated in the next 10 years, and how that has continued to hold India back in the years since independence. Because although the
Advaita,
British, yeah, go ahead.
I haven't gotten anything on Twitter or WhatsApp,
Okay, never mind. Go ahead. It doesn't matter. What? Go ahead,
but
Abhijit.
I
What were you?
tweeted what you sent last on the group. हाँ,
No,
ठीक
that
है. So
I
what was I
tweeted
saying?
after that. If you go to my I've tweeted a comment of yours. So if you go to my account, you'll see the second tweet is the one
हाँ.
that you have to retweet.
Oh,
It might just be easier to do that.
ठीक है. 1 second. Let's do that.
Yeah, we'll just wait for
हाँ, okay,
Abhijit to
okay.
do that. So we've got a lot of people joining us from Twitter. So I just want to make sure that Abhijit's followers also have. No, Suhail is not with us today. Wow, product 9205. And thank God for that, because he behaved so badly during the Sunday Club. You just have to read the comments of the last Sunday Club and you know just how badly Suhail behaved. So he's not here with us today. Okay, Abhijit. Yes, I agree, Chili Paneer. Don't keep saying the same message. Uh, English should be taught as a language, but it should never be the medium of education. Regional education is better than English education. Go ahead. Um, yes, thank you, Amal. AIM, we just lost him, but basically, yes, it's good that we did the podcast today, and AIM is the best guest. He is very good. He's very smart, actually. And yeah, so AIM is back. AIM, you're back. Great.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Hmm.
Sorry, I'm on my phone, so there's all kinds of crap happening. Every time a call
Go ahead.
comes, it sort
Go
of
ahead.
yeah. Huh. So
Yes, we were. The other thing, Abhijit, I just want to check with this with you. I know we're jumping all over the place, but in Bihar, it was the Muslim woman vote, but it also was the Pasmanda Muslims who
yeah,
also shifted,
yeah,
who were
yep.
anyway with JDU, but also voted for the BJP this time.
So tell me something. All these people who are acting too smart by half by calling Modi Maulana Modi this and that. अब क्या बोलोगे?
Hmm.
Huh? Getting Muslims to vote for an Hindutva agenda, you still call him Maulana Modi. See,
Hmm.
this is proof that you can actually push a development agenda. That this Congress agenda
Absolutely.
of zero sum game, where Muslims will never grow, so let them be, let them rot, let them wipe away. Boss, a country can't grow if 20% of its population is going to be like that.
Hmm.
You have to lift them up. And so,
No, no,
what
and
is
there
your
were issues.
So I've been very happy with this government's minority policy and with Yogi's law and order policy for a very long time. Huh? No complaints.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
You know,
and I was
initially I
just
used to think.
go ahead.
Initially, I used to think, see, ये bulldozer थोड़ा excessive नहीं हो रहा है हर चीज के लिए घर घर demolish करो. So I was talking to this cop, obviously because he's serving no names, and
Hmm.
he was telling me, अभिजीत देखो तुम्हारा ना बहुत ये over intellectualized argument. His thing was fine. You're saying that the house should only be demolished for suicide bombing and not for chota mota things like this. The problem is that when you have a state that is so completely lawless,
Yeah.
then it is the gravity of the crime that matters as much. So clearly, I was wrong and Yogi was right. Clearly, he knows his state better,
Hmm.
boss. If I stand for election, what am I going to get? Like 5,000 votes at best,
Hmm.
if that at all. Mostly not even that, because when somebody puts a baby on my lap, I'll say, "Ooh, what an ugly baby," and wo vote bhi mere ko nahi milega. But clearly, this man knows his state very, very well. He's the first chief minister to be serving what, 2 terms back to back. Have you ever heard of a chief
Yeah.
minister serve that in UP?
And full
अब
terms.
देखो.
He's completed his
या
entire
या
term.
फुल टर्म्स. अब देखना है कि इस इलेक्शन में क्या होगा. आई थिंक, डिड यू हियर अखिलेश यादव स्टेटमेंट द अदर डे?
No, what? Which one?
विजन 47 भाई कौन होगा, वो खुद भी नहीं होंगे विजन 47 को साकार देखने के लिए.
Oh my God. They're
या
so negative. They're so negative and nasty. I mean, this is the problem.
So
This is the problem.
Akhilesh is actually quite sweet. So I don't know why he said that, but now it makes a lot of sense. He's
Why
saying
is he
it out of
sweet?
trust.
Where's that
He's
coming
normally
from?
quite he's
Oh,
he's
you
quite a
met him?
sweet guy. Once long back.
Hmm.
He won't remember
Okay.
me. See, I can say things like, I know Ambani, I know Gautam Bhai Adani. The question is, you know them, but do they know you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So, but anyway. Uh so it makes sense now. You know why? It's desperation talking. Because they were hoping that the mistakes of 2020 that led to 2024 will continue till the state election, and the state election will be a repeat of the 2024 general election.
Hmm.
Clearly, that is not going to be the case anymore.
Yeah.
So, their financial backing, the Gunda backing, is being removed systematically. Economic growth is being brought in. And the BJP has learned from the mistakes of 2024, and clearly they're not repeating those mistakes again.
They're not
Clearly,
repeating
they're
those
not.
mistakes. And it's not, it's, I don't see, frankly, I think what's happening at the national level very similar in UP. I don't see the Samajwadis coming back in
I don't.
27 either.
I
Yeah.
don't. And I hope for the sake of a good opposition, the Samajwadis realize that, this nihilist line that the Congress has taken isn't going to serve them. It can't be that. Don't turn people like Saima, Arfa, what is that actress?
Hmm.
Who's the actress?
Gosh, that one who's married recently, na? Oof. Swara Bhaskar.
Swara, Swara, Swara. Uh,
Swara.
don't turn them into your Yogendra Yadav. They are
Hmm.
not a gauge of reality on the ground. Rahul listened to Yogendra Yadav. Yogendra Yadav went on. I remember being 10 years old in Bihar when Lalu was there, and we used to be shocked, happy to get. करे क्या निकाल दिया पढ़ने से पहले फिर comment को ऊपर
Oh.
करो.
Ah, I
Shocked,
thought you were
happy
talking
to
about
get
Yogendra.
electricity lol, and remember being no road. God bless Nitish. Yes, this is what people say. So where was I?
You were talking about Yogendra Yadav being Rahul's chief
Yogendra Yadav. Now,
advisor.
Yogendra Yadav, do you remember in that interview? He said, we are doing this vote chori so that people may think for the first time, maybe there is something here. And the
Hmm.
moment they lost the Bihar election, you see how quickly Yogendra Yadav dumped Rahul and moved on to the next game.
Because
So,
Rahul is caught up in this thing, no, about being this Che Guevara type of activist, sort of
see,
leftist
so
man of the streets.
to be fair to Che Guevara, who was a sadistic murderer and torturer and rapist, he at least had the intellectual honesty to live in the forest, fight, like a guerrilla, and tough it out in the jungle. He actually worked with the people. He didn't talk about Bastar and didn't take David Miliband for one night to live in a Dalit man's house. He lived in the forest for a long time and, hid in the forest for a long time.
By the way, that guy might become PM. They're saying Starmer's going.
Oh, okay. Starmer was good for India. So, well, I mean, better than Rishi
Might be
Sunak
going.
was for India. Might be, might be.
Hmm. Hmm.
But where is this man? He goes off to Colombia to do a video in the middle of the Bihar election. Goes off to Colombia to do a video with a barista on how to make Colombian coffee. He goes off, और कर्नाटका में तुम्हारा government है and you're promoting competition coffee beans.
And it's almost like he's saying, look, Colombia is not only about cocaine, it has
Then,
coffee. He's
yeah,
like doing
then
a revamp for their image.
Then he gives the same convoluted EV analogy in Colombia, which fell so flat because Colombians are actually very eco aware, and they know about EVs and things like that. It's a big thing there. There's a much higher disposable income economy, and they know about things. So it fell so flat on the audience out there. Did you notice the audience thought he was really, really dumb? You also have a Congress today that can't. Kerala is a state that keeps swinging from CPIM to Congress to CPIM to Congress. For the first time, it did not swing. It's probably not going to swing this time either.
Why is Kerala Congress after you, by the way? You were
Who
telling me,
knows?
and then we got, yeah.
Who knows? And they didn't even get their spellings properly. Chines. Why is he taking Chines side? Something like that.
Hmm.
Best of luck to them. Apparently, it comes under KC Venugopal. Did we say something about KC Venugopal the last time?
No, we didn't.
We didn't, but
No,
anyway.
but we mentioned the top leaders, and we didn't mention him.
Oh, we did? Okay. So,
We didn't. We didn't mention him.
but remember, Supriya
Ali
Srinath had
didn't.
ordered. Acha. And remember, Supriya Srinath had ordered that the black dildo of Bangalore. What's his name? Uh,
Please
the
stop
soon
all
to be
this. I don't know what.
the suicide bomber, soon to be. कौन है वो काला?
Anyway, moving on. Ha.
Arey, he looks
Go
he
ahead.
looks like he looks like a cross between a hijra and a Okhla Kambali auntie.
No,
Yaar,
I
what's his
don't want
name?
to have this kind of conversation. No. Okay,
That
moving
fellow,
on.
she got him to attack me. No, I mean she literally had the tweet in her hand and gave it to him to attack me. So it's fine.
Why
Let them
does
do
she
it,
attack you directly?
huh?
Because she's boss lady, she can't attack directly.
Huh? But now they've got their own handle to attack me. No, so clearly they don't
No.
trust that whatever trans Oklavali auntie in Bangalore to attack me anymore.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, coming back to UP from Kerala and everywhere else that we've been. So, what do you think the Prime Minister has in mind when he's saying this whole Macaulay Putra and this cultural battle and framing it in this context? Because he doesn't just say things without having
Mm.
some plan of action in mind. What do you think his plan of action is?
I don't know. And see, this is the thing. His great thing is he wrongfoots everyone.
Hmm.
Okay, you can never. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember, but in the UPA's time, it used to PMO used to leak like a goddamn sieve. People,
Yeah.
we used to get to know what was happening even before the newspapers got to know what was happening. I think
Yeah.
Delhi media gossip would have been much more effective in pre 2014 than it is. Not that I run Delhi media gossip, my account keeps getting hacked, just to be clear
Of
about
course.
that. But
Yeah.
different matter. But now operational secrecy is so good, you don't know what is happening when it is going to happen. And notice he takes things in directions nobody expects. One thing I've realized is if you notice, I used to be very prone to criticizing them in the last 10 years, but I stopped after Ram Mandir. Because one thing I realized is he's very serious. He's going to deliver what he says he's going to deliver. His thing is, please don't micromanage me. Because I also have an election to win. If there is no election victory, there is no delivery. Full stop. So I've gotten to the point where I kind of trust the man blindly now, more or less.
And the thing was that this Bihar election, they won a lot of elections, but I saw him. He was Prime Minister was actually very happy, like genuinely happy with this one. It
Yeah.
meant a lot to him, and
You know
I'm
why?
still trying to figure out why.
Because he now knows that the tide has turned completely from 2024. I think, in a way, Kapil Komi Reddy, of all people, captured it the best when he said that 1 year back, this was a man who had almost consigned himself to, not having a next term and beat a retreat almost, to now riding an absolute crest of a wave. Remember what has happened in the last 1 year. After that shocking result in 2024, the RSS got back in Haryana and they snatched victory from the jaws of defeat.
Yes, yes.
Nobody thought. I was very convinced that Congress was heading for a landslide.
You're always convinced Congress is heading for a landslide.
Except in West Bengal, where I'm convinced BJP is heading for a landslide. Which I let me exclusive prediction to the Advaita Kala show. That the BJP is going to win 5,000 seats in West Bengal. They're going to sweep every single constituency. Mahua Moitra and Pagalika will join BJP in the next few days, and I think Mahua Moitra will become the first BJP chief minister of Bengal, and Pagalika will become the first BJP deputy chief
Governor?
minister of Bengal.
Acha, deputy. No, will she play second fiddle?
No, I think Derek O'Brien will also join BJP and he will be made governor of West Bengal. Hmm.
Oh.
So we're heading for a landslide in West Bengal, I must say. But sorry, coming back to this. Then what happened was, now remember, Haryana election happened very close after the general election. That was the testing ground. And notice how they changed the strategy. It wasn't about Modi. It all became local issues. RSS going deep in, playing local games, finding where the fault lines were and doing it. Then came Delhi. Delhi was very, very interesting. Delhi, I am telling you, even today, 10 days before the election, AAP was going for a landslide.
Hmm.
It changed in 10 days. What happened? First was Nirmala Sitaraman's budget and that 12 lakh rupee tax this thing. The second thing which we saw happening in our with our own eyes, what they were doing was the RSS wanted to focus on only one group. How is it that the BJP wins every Lok Sabha seat by 54%, absolute majority in Delhi?
Hmm.
Every single seat was won by 54% or more. But AAP wins every assembly constituency by 54%. So clearly, there is this swing voter who's voting for Modi nationally, but Kejriwal domestically. They only focused on those houses which they suspected. At the booth level, you can pretty much tell कौन किसके लिए काम कर रहा है. And they just focused on that 15-20% that was swinging. Look at the results. Then you saw what happened in Maharashtra. Maharashtra, how badly did they lose Maharashtra in 2024 general election? And look how handsomely they won it. Huge landslide majority.
Hmm.
Bihar again, absolute landslide majority. So the tide has turned. The tide has
Hmm.
turned very significantly. I think Kapil Komi Reddy is being unfair to Rahul because Rahul didn't have a role to play. Tejashvi had a role to play, yes.
No, but
Because
Kapil Kovi Reddy is also now being trolled by the Congressis, which is interesting because he was like a pro-Congress guy, right?
Mhm,
So I don't
which
know.
is
They're turning
fine.
on each other again. Yeah,
Which is fine. See, the issue is it is pointless unless the Congress reforms itself. This country needs a good opposition.
I
Rahul
agree.
is not that person. Priyanka is also not that person. Nobody in the family is that person. I think Modi did get something wrong. We don't need a Congress Mukt Bharat. We need a Gandhi Mukt Congress. Because the Congress
You know,
still has very good leaders. We shouldn't forget that. The problem is you have all these faceless chaprasis who can't win elections, who Rahul has decided to surround himself with. What has this? There was that fellow who beat up the journalist in Houston or Boston or wherever. There is this
hmm,
Allavaru gentleman right now. Who are all these people, boss? तुम्हारा
all
mass
lefties,
leadership कहाँ है?
all lefties,
हाँ, but
surrounded by lefties.
where are your creds on the ground? What state have you won? किस आधार पे तुमको इतना proximate रखा जा रहा है? Look at
Hmm.
Manish Tiwari. He switched constituencies and he still won. But no room for him. Shashi Tharoor has defied a Modi wave for how long? He still won. उसके लिए तुम्हारे पास जगह नहीं है. Kapil Sibal for all his faults.
Hmm.
उसके लिए भी तुम्हारे पास जगह नहीं है. भाई किसके लिए कन्हैया कुमार रियली.
Generational change. I'm telling you, it's a capture of by the left of the Congress party. That's what's happening. I've been
See,
seeing it for years.
I don't care who captures the Congress party. The point is India deserves a good opposition. I just hope now that Mamta Di, Tejashvi, Akhilesh, all these people realize the Congress isn't bringing anything to the table. They can't hitch their agenda to his agenda. They can't get bogged down by association with him.
Yes, and this whole vote chori thing, if it is so widespread and the voter is being cheated of his vote and this, that, and the other, then why are people not out on the streets?
Exactly.
Why is he having these PowerPoint presentations in auditoriums for the media? And that's about it. And then he's off on some other foreign trip.
Yeah. So, there's SIR happening in Tamil Nadu right now. And, it is very intensive. My mom sent me the entire list of things. Tick, tick, tick karna hai. You have to send your documentation. I have to go back and present myself in my this thing in my constituency, which is Mylapore constituency, etc., etc. It's a good thing, no? Now I can
Yeah.
understand people are upset कि भाई हमारे पास इतना पैसा नहीं है, we can't fly down just to show our face and blah blah, maybe, etc. But it is, enumeration and validation are crucial elements of the electoral exercise.
Absolutely.
There, without enumeration and validation, there is no electoral integrity. So it is. See, on one hand, they don't want you to enumerate, which is why they don't want NRC. On the other hand, they don't want an SIR. They themselves saw to it because of no NRC that your Aadhaar card and your PAN card cannot be proof of citizenship.
Hmm.
Then, after ensuring that, they are telling you you can't even have an SIR. Aadhaar क्यों नहीं इस्तेमाल करते भाई? What the hell?
And the
And
कागज नहीं
today, did you
दिखाएंगे
see?
भी. I
Did
mean,
you
that's
see?
your whole stance.
Huh? Huh? And did you notice? Rajdeep is the one presenting the story about how every day they're finding one constituency, 200 people are going back to Bangladesh every day. One constituency. One. So,
He's
ab kya?
actually reporting that. I'm surprised he's reporting that.
I'm very surprised, but and he didn't seem particularly pained reporting it either,
It
because
reminds me of a conversation I had with a,
he seemed
go
very
ahead. Go
pained
ahead.
during the Bihar election. Did you see when he was reading out the Bihar results? He was बहुत
Yeah, but
सदमे
then I
में
think
थे.
the Prime Minister called and inquired about his health and everything and had a half an hour conversation. So post that, I think he softened a little bit. That's the thing, right? That's the journalistic culture, right? That has been in the past. It was all about access and these kind of
Yeah,
personal tete-a-tetes and moments, and that
yeah.
was what they were used to.
But remember, Vajpayee used to grant all of that. There were still wishes to him.
Yeah,
Yeah. Remember, I don't think people remember what these same people, Pranoy Roy and Rajdeep and co, used to say about Vajpayee when he was in power. But the moment Modi came, Vajpayee became a, Rose of England who used to spread his fragrance 20 kilometers away.
but
They used
that's
to say the
happening with Yogi also,
nastiest
no?
things about. Yeah,
That's happening with Yogi and Modi also, no?
yeah.
Now Yogi is the hardcore one and Modi is the softie.
Modi is the softie.
Yeah.
है ना? So ultimately, I think Yogi Baba has got it right. बुलडोजर की तरह ना और कोई काम ही नहीं है. सच में. आई थिंक दे शुड वो लोटस पे ना कहीं बुलडोजर कहीं लगाना चाहिए. वो सेंटर वाले पेटल पे कहीं एक बुलडोजर होना चाहिए.
And I think even the attendees in today's function, it was very interesting because last time round you had this huge celeb turnout with Bollywood people and politicians and business tycoons and a very high profile crowd, and one was wondering like why it had to be that way, and maybe
Yeah.
the people who'd actually worked in the movement and helped build the Ram Mandir should have been there. But now you understand a little bit of why that also needed to happen, because there was so much manufactured negativity around this that
Hmm.
having people who are front and center in Indian society, having them attend and in that sense extend their support to it was very
I
important.
I think it's different. I think they realized it was a mistake. They shouldn't have made a publicity thing out of it. And this time only the Bhakts were invited.
Hmm.
I think the attitude now is go to hell. We don't give a damn about your validation or the lack thereof,
Yeah,
which is very good.
could be, and I don't know. I hope that's the reason. I hope that's the reason because
Usha
that's important,
Ganesha.
and I think the Sarsang Chalak speech was also lovely because he is another person who looked very happy today. Like Modi ji looked very happy in the Bihar
But,
this thing. The
but
Sarsang Chalak today looked very happy.
did you notice all three of them looked very happy? There was a
Yeah.
kind of, I mean, Yogi to always has that kind of, that mischievous glint in his eye. Like he's like, he kind of looks like the schoolboy who's about to set off wo lal wala chota cracker in maths class. He always has
Hmm.
that look on his face.
But
But
today on India Today TV, I said, it's almost divine intervention, right? That
mm,
Yogi was chief minister during this time. And in fact, even during the last election, UP election, I just said that, I just felt like he was going to win because I just felt like Sri Ram was going to make sure this man wins. Because had Akhilesh come, then imagine in Ayodhya, even Diwali was not, there was no Deepotsav, there was nothing. And I said, the temple has to be finished. And Ram Lala is going to make sure Yogi comes back because he's the one who's going to finish it.
yep. And well, I mean, we shouldn't say that and jinx that, because the last time I said that, 2024 election happened. So I'm actually going to predict that Akhilesh Yadav is going to win a massive victory in this election.
And you like him
And
also. He's a nice guy, you said.
yeah, yeah. And I think Akhilesh is going to win like 50,000 seats in this election. And in fact, you won't believe me when I say this, but the very next day, Modi will resign and Akhilesh will become Prime Minister.
Wasn't his father also nearly prime minister once? Mulayam
Almost,
Singh, yeah.
almost.
Very
But you know,
close to
when,
being prime minister.
but, the thing is, uh, every bureaucrat I know who has worked with Mulayam Singh Yadav has nothing but respect for him, including my own dad. My dad was Additional Secretary Defense when he was Defense Minister. And my dad was that typical leftist, no, Saint Stephen's pass, very look down upon vernacular speakers. He never used to allow us to watch Hindi movies at home. If he found a Hindi, हमको चुप चुप के हिंदी picture देखना पड़ता था. And if he ever found a Hindi tape, he'd take it and smash the videotape, because he said this was all vulgar crap that shouldn't be allowed into the house. Only Western classical music, hand
Yeah,
elbows
and you
off the
couldn't read
table.
Stardust and all that. You couldn't read Stardust and
Yeah, yeah,
Filmfare,
none of that crap. Okay. And there was only Time, Newsweek, National Geographic, stuff like that at home. But even he had a great deal of respect for Mulayam Singh Yadav as the defense minister. He always said if you made a good argument to him, he would accept that argument. And sometimes when he didn't accept that argument, he would go ahead and he would come back with very, very valid points. See, there is ultimately it is also for Akhilesh to introspect. Why is it that Mulayam Singh Yadav could keep winning elections and Akhilesh is not able to win?
No,
Is
yeah.
Akhilesh
My
is Akhilesh living in a black swan bubble? Because I now believe that 2024 wasn't a black swan, but it was a warning. See, a black swan is the notion of a black swan is a completely different thing. This is the BJP kind of losing its track, getting complacent, and they're no longer being complacent and taking things for granted. They're getting very serious about things, and I think that's a very good thing. And I feel Akhilesh is getting complacent.
yeah. So Abhijit, my Nana was the engineer in chief of UP, and that time around, Mulayam Singh was a young political activist, and even back then, he would storm into the house whenever he could, and he had a very affable sort of endearing presence, and he was very pushy. He used to come in and he used to say, Pandit ji, ye kara dijiye, ye iska kara dijiye, sadak banwa dijiye. And my Nana was very charmed by him, and he would always say this young man is going to go far. But
Hmm.
so Mulayam, for whatever it's worth, was actually an on the ground activist, getting
Yeah.
things done, meeting with people, on the move. This kind of the second generation of his family is really not like that. I mean, Akhilesh
Okay.
is
But
very,
to
yeah.
be fair, Akhilesh was completely approachable. Let's leave the Gunda Raj aside. We're talking about personal approachability and
That's a
personal
huge thing
affability.
for someone like me that Gunda Raj is really off-putting.
It was very off-putting, but anyway, personally, in spite of everything that happened under him, he was always personally very affable. Akhilesh is also personally affable when you get to meet him. He's certainly fine. He has certain rules कि भाई Saturday Sunday को मेरे को मत बुलाओ. because I want personal family time, which I think is very cute. A man who, a politician who can have everything, totally in love with his wife, and Dimple Bhabi is very cute, by the way. So, I
And she's
totally
from
respect that.
Uttarakhand, by the way. So I don't know why he has a problem with Uttarakhandis.
Anyway, and in spite of that, with his own people, he's very chilled out with them. He's very affable. Unlike Rahul, who gives attitude to everybody who comes to meet him. Have you ever seen Akhilesh being rude or giving attitude to anybody who comes to meet him? He's a likable guy. You won't find anybody who doesn't like Akhilesh who's met him.
I haven't met Rahul or Akhilesh, so I have no parameters to gauge this by. I can only go by their public personas. And Rahul does seem quite affable and, mixing around and all of that.
No, no, if he doesn't know you, if it's a photo op, he's very affable. But you look at the way he treats his own people around him. This sort
Hmm.
of
That's what
casual
your Radhika was saying.
informality, no respect for age, no respect for anything. Akhilesh, on the other hand, shows a great. You look at his older party leaders, he shows a lot of respect to them.
Hmm.
So there is something out here which is uh, I think Akhilesh can really grow as a leader, but Rahul has no future.
I, in
And if
fact,
the
even think
Congress,
even Tejasvi, he's
yeah,
made a real mess of things.
look, let's look at it this way. Tejasvi won individually. He won more votes than the BJP or Nitish Kumar did individually. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. And I find this thing, अरे 9वीं class fail है तो भाई क्या हुआ? Kamaraj was not an educated man, but Kamaraj was probably one of the best chief ministers that Tamil Nadu had.
Yeah, I mean, that's all nonsense. That's not a this thing.
See, that
As
is
long as he's not a
nonsense.
gunda, as
Now,
long as he's not an illiterate kind of gunda kind of character, I don't think that should be a problem.
who's torturing the dog around you, yeah?
That's my dog. He's got separation anxiety, so someone must have gone out, so that's why he's going nuts.
Oh, okay. And and now, so I don't think that is a valid criticism. What is a valid criticism of Tejashvi is, why aren't you able to build a coalition of positives? Why did you attach yourself to a negative who diverted the entire campaign from jobs and whatever? See, they did Tejashvi ever do vote chori? He didn't. He allowed Rahul to do it. Why did you let him do that? Why did you let him? Why did you let Rahul hijack the national debate? I think Mamta Di is going to take some very good lessons away from this, and she's going to realize that Rahul is not an asset. Rahul is a liability. Even what 3-4% of the vote he'll add to the TMC, he's going to take away somewhere else. You see the 3% he brings, she sees the 6 to 8% he drives away.
No, but this time around, he wasn't that active in Bihar, by the way. I think,
Baba,
consciously decided to step
tell
away
me
from Bihar.
where is he ever active?
No, when he gets active in a state and they lose, they say he's a panoti. When he steps away consciously from that state, you still say he's a panoti. It's a little unfair.
No, but see, why when you step in with all the wrong issues that have zero resonance. Now, A, pay attention to the state. B, don't pay attention to the state to spread your message. Learn what the state is trying to tell you and spread their message. Which is why he's a panoti when he's not around, and he's a panoti when he is around.
Yeah, and his messaging is like that same leftist negativity. He's not offering anything
Look,
hopeful, optimistic, nothing. It's just
his
doom and gloom.
messaging,
It's
his
horrible.
messaging is European social democrat messaging. यूरोप कहाँ यूपी कहाँ बिहार कहाँ भाई.
Hmm.
He's essentially going to a place where there are no jobs and saying मैं आपको ना एस्प्रेसो और माकियातो खिलाऊंगा। आपने कभी एस्प्रेसो पिया है? आपने कभी माकियातो पिया है? मैं आपके लिए वो दे दूंगा। एंड दे थिंकिंग है ये होता क्या है? he's he shows no sign of reforming। 14th को इन्होंने एक वोट अधिकार सम्मेलन बुलाया है। भाई बिहार, इफ बिहार hasn't punctured your bubble, I don't know what is going to puncture your bubble।
He This is the thing, right? It's like a dog with a bone. Like you have an issue, you think like chokidar chor hai, right? And you think it's going to work, and you're so convinced it's going to work, and you just keep going at it. Even though you lose elections, you don't have your own alliance members supporting you on it. It's so obvious. Like his alliance partners don't come on stage with him, they don't carry out rallies supporting him. None of that happens. I mean,
Yeah,
RJD had such a thumping loss, but they didn't come out and say vote chori.
yeah. Look, RJD was extremely gracious in defeat.
Yeah.
Okay, now if RJD is so gracious, why are you so bitter and sour? It was their election to lose, not your election to lose. And notice the only people surrounding Rahul today are the ones vying for Rajya Sabha memberships, because they realize it's a diminishing thing. They can't become members of parliament ever again unless they are on board with this thing. By the way, one of the people who's vying for Rajya Sabha, keeps calling up Gautam Bhai Adani and seeking his blessings in everything he does. Hmm.
I mean, Sybil left the Congress for a Rajya Sabha,
There's
right?
there is an actual audio recording of it, by the way. I don't know when it is going to be used or if it is going to be used. But for all the
Tell
public
us.
tamasha, but for all the public tamasha, if and when that audio comes out, it is going to be hilarious.
Are you serious?
सभी आपका
Okay, you'll tell me.
आशीर्वाद सभी आपका
Oh,
आशीर्वाद है सर।
have you heard it?
What?
The audio.
What audio?
The other thing was Sagrika Ghosh taking off on Epstein emails. That was so funny.
But listen, I find Paglika, to be delightfully mad. She's like, have you noticed? Mahua just gives off really negative vibes. She's like a dementor. Wherever she enters, all the joy is sucked out of it, and it feels like you've been drenched in cold water. Pagalika is very warm. She's joyfully mad. She's like the Kalandars of Pakistan. They're totally mad, but they're great fun, and they keep dancing and shaking their heads and things like that. So Pagalika is like a Kalandar, and Mahua is like a dementor.
Okay, quickly, we have some questions for you. Here you go. Can you answer them? The super chats.
I'm scared about any black swan event orchestrated by judiciary. Do you think judicial reforms are on the horizon to avoid this? Boss, again, like I told you right at the beginning, we never know what Modi is thinking. But clearly, Modi knows. I mean, for winning 3 elections now, I think the man knows better how to sequence things. I'm sure he's on top of things. He'll deal with it. थोड़ा भरोसा रखो.
Okay. Why can't we privatize roads and municipal corporations when we all know what they do?
We did privatize roads, and remember, nothing came of it. They privatized that Haryana, this thing, the toll bridge, remember, from Delhi to Haryana. And then what happened with that? It didn't work. Because remember, even the road construction business, it is there to grab other land. The 100 meters, 100 or 50 meters on either side to build, sit on, squat, and then build flats and sell it off at very high prices. It's a systemic abuse. I don't know when it's going to get fixed, but like I said, everything's interlinked. It'll take a while.
Here they're asking about the US India deal.
US LNG, and also bought some weapons as well. Also, is the EU deal on ice? Look, the EU deal is stuck in a something very interesting. They want us, like the BSC and things, to become backward, and we're like, boss, European trading systems are absolute shit. They're antiquated. They're 19th century. We have gone so far ahead in digitization, our stock exchange and our trades and our our transparency and things like that. We are not going to go back. You need to upgrade yourself. So it's the EU putting blockades out there. As I understand it, the US trade deal is fairly close. They're saying between a fortnight and a month away.
Okay. Epstein is here. Has Trump committed those crimes? Has Israel
I,
or Russia those files? Will this cause Republicans to lose? I guess lose the midterm because the next elections are.
Look, the Republicans are going to lose the midterms for other reasons not related to Epstein, though the Epstein files are very important for the MAGA rank and file, as evidenced by Marjorie Taylor Greene. But see how she herself is pissed off with Trump. Did you see her video, that 12, 13-minute long video? Uh, I think it sums up a lot of MAGA right now.
Yeah.
And Trump is
By the
beginning to
way,
show his. And it happened exactly when Marjorie Taylor Greene quit. And somewhere between his disdain of Marjorie and his great newfound love for Zohran, a lot of the rank and file are feeling, I won't say, are feeling betrayed. Yeah, I don't think betrayed is the right word, but yeah, betrayed, let down, abandoned, whatever.
yeah. Fun fact, Marjorie Taylor Greene is from the 14th district of Georgia, which is exactly where I used to live. In fact, she lives in the town where I went to school for 4 years. It's a lovely part of the country. And I'm really happy that she's taken the stance on the Epstein files. Just wanted to say that.
But I
And
thought you graduated from Jumri Talaya International College.
I didn't graduate, but I did go there. That's another story, some other day. Okay.
Acha,
AI
aim looks
looks
like
like because
of Groypers, Vance will lose. Yes, most probably. Also, Vance is too clever by half and lacks spice. Yes, but he's a very good guy. You know that. Your opinion also, you've always been right about Pakistan, have I? Okay, good to know.
Vance has a lot of spice. He looks like he's wearing eyeliner all the time. What's he talking about?
Abe yaar, no. But look, I think Vance is smart. I have a feeling if Vance thinks things are going south, he will throw Trump under the truck. Let's see.
Remember, he called Trump Hitler or something, right? And then did the switch.
Once. He used to be a never Trumper, yeah.
Hmm. Has Trump thrown Ukraine under the bus? Has Putin
No,
won?
no. I think Trump is expecting a certain level of accountability from Ukraine, which Ukraine's not willing to give. If you notice, just 2 weeks back, there was a huge new corruption scandal. Every month, there is some new huge corruption scandal happening in Ukraine. And public
Yeah.
support, both in America and Europe, is just going down, 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 down. This is what is going to happen, boss. See, for Putin, he thought he was going to win in short order. We also thought he was going to win in short order. Did not. He's seen what's happened in Afghanistan and Iraq. You just keep prolonging, 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 bleed the West dry. After a point, they just give up and walk off.
Hmm. He's going to have to give up land, probably Crimea, and he'll have to, come to terms with that. And only then will there be any sort of peace deal, I
Yeah,
think. He's going
yeah,
to have to accept that Ukraine is going to lose land in this.
yeah.
And
He is.
that's really it. Okay, this is the last question, and then we're going to let AIM go. Is USA providing Pakistan with deterrence with minerals finding facade with US citizens in Pakistan hurt would make US intervene in Indo-Pak?
No, I think Trump realizes better than anyone that India can provide whatever Pakistan can provide, India can provide a lot more of.
Hmm.
He's just getting as much as he can out of Pakistan before then he turns to India and gets what he wants out of India.
Hmm. Are Trump's children investing in Pakistan? I don't know, but they're dancing in India.
They're
So,
dancing in India. Donald Trump Jr. is in India right now.
hmm.
He visited
Okay, at the
Vantara. He
last
visited
time he came back,
Jamnagar. Uh,
he's been asking this for a while. I believe Putin's sons were also here. Did you know Putin has two sons? I didn't know that.
He does not have sons. He has two daughters.
That's what I thought, but then I was told by your friend that he has two sons.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Aim,
AM,
what do you
what
think
do
is
you
going to
think
happen?
is
Nothing. She's going to be here and she's not going to get deported. Don't worry about it. And please remember, BJP is going to win massively in the upcoming West Bengal election in May, April, May. They're going to win 50,000 seats. And Modi is going to resign as prime minister and become chief minister of Bengal again to raise it back to the glory of the Pala and Sena dynasty. And Mahua, in fact, no, he won't resign, but Mahua, Pagalika, Derek, they will all quit TMC and join BJP. Mahua will become chief minister, Pagalika will become deputy chief minister, Derek will become governor.
and just tell me what is this Lokpal thing with Mawa? Something has been initiated, right?
Yes, the CBI has been asked to initiate prosecution.
So how what's the process? What happens next?
Charge sheet, and then it's up to the CBI's discretion if they want to arrest or not.
And how long does that take from now to charge sheet stage?
It technically could happen the very next day. But apparently
Oh,
the
okay.
documents are quite comprehensive. So let's see.
Interesting. So thank you so much, AIM, for joining us today on this fun conversation. And and I don't know, people are weird. They're saying things like AIM is a Matchbox brand, and I don't know what. And a lot of people today,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
convey your
AIM is
message.
a Matchbox brand. It is actually. And it's become my favorite Matchbox brand because it's got my initials on it, AIM.
Huh.
They're good
Okay,
matches.
and there are a lot of people here who are supporting Sohail and like saying really sweet things about him.
Yes, he's a very sweet guy.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised actually.
Why?
And no, I don't have a dial-up connection. Thank you so much. Oh yeah,
You
and they
do.
said conversation about everything except for the cultural bugle. You joined late. We already discussed that right in the beginning.
The cultural bugle?
Bugle, like Modi's kind of launched the cultural
Ah,
bugle, the big
yes, we
fight.
that was the first thing
That
we discussed. Yes.
yeah, they
Yes.
join late and then they try and blame us. So
Yes,
anyway,
sure.
thank you
Sure.
everybody. Please do like, share, subscribe, and we will be back soon. Bye everyone. Thank you.